Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have a loaded show to get to as the Giants have made 7 roster moves early this morning. They've signed or claimed 4 players on the NFL waiver wire, as well as added 3 players to the injured reserve. And it's unfortunate because those are some key players in Rodarius Williams, who suffered that ACL tear last year. Elerson Smith, a guy that I thought had some potential after being a mid-round draft pick in 2021. And Shane Lemieux, who was supposed to be the starting left guard for the New York Giants. Going to IR means they're going to miss at least 3 or 4 games heading into this upcoming season. And Brian Daboll was asked if these guys would be ready to go, and he said, there's a chance they will return this season. That's not something you want to hear from your head coach when he's asked about an injury, because Shane Lemieux's dealing with that toe injury. Elerson Smith is dealing with that injury he suffered at training camp. And Rodarius Williams is battling back from the ACL. We need these guys back, especially Shane Lemieux, because right now I have no idea who's going to be the starting left guard. With the Giants moving 3 players to injured reserve and claiming 4 players, that puts them at 54 players on their active roster, which means they still have to cut 1 more player to get regulated to the 53-man roster, the mandated roster total for the NFL. So with 1 player still to be cut, I want to ask you guys this question. Who do you think it's going to be? Who do you think the New York Giants are going to cut? Is it going to be Darius Slayton? That's a guy a lot of people are talking about. Let me know who you think gets cut and gets trimmed so the Giants could get down to 53 players on their roster. But hey, this is why you subscribe to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, because when the Giants make a roster move, we get you guys a video. When the Giants move players to injured reserve, we get you guys a video. We also go live twice a week on the channel. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and help us get to 12,000 subscribers on the channel. Let's do it for the preseason legend, Davis Webb. Alrighty, we talked on the top of the show about 4 players the Giants claimed on the waiver wire. Let's break them down. The first one being the defensive back, Justin Layned. The Giants claimed Layned from the Pittsburgh Steelers, a former 3rd-round pick in 2019. Layned has played in the NFL for 3 years, has played in 43 games in that time frame, but has never started a game. 3rd-round pick back in 2019 out of Michigan State. This is someone who during the preseason this year posted solid coverage grades, giving up 14 yards on 2 receptions, and including an interception. And he's going to compete for not just to make this roster, he's on it, but he's going to compete for playing time in a cornerback room that's pretty thin right now for the Giants. The Giants also claimed Jack Anderson, an interior offensive lineman from the Buffalo Bills. Well, he was drafted by the Buffalo Bills, but he was most recently in camp with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was a 7th-round pick by the Bills back in 2021. But he did start 1 game. He was cut by the Bills, signed by the Eagles last year. Started 1 game for the Eagles, played in 2 games. In that 1 start, though, he was pretty good. An overall PFF grade of 70.5, a run block grade of 67.5, and a pass block grade of 73.1. The Giants, they needed some more depth on the interior offensive line, because right now, with Shane Lemieux going to injured reserve, I don't know who the hell is going to be the starting left guard come week 1 for the Giants. Could it be Jack Anderson? Could it be Joshua Azudu? Could it be Devery Hamilton? Could it be Max Garcia? Will Ben Bredesen be healthy enough to play? That's my biggest concern right now with this left guard spot being up in the air and injuries across the depth chart. But I'm still confident in this Giants offensive line with Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Mark Lewinsky, John Feliciano. Those are guys that are building blocks and are definitely going to make this offensive line way better this year. I'm still confident. I still got a 7 or 8 confidence meter going on with me right now, but I want to hear from you. What's your confidence level in the Giants offensive line right now? How are you feeling? Scale at 1 to 10. 1 being you're not confident at all. This is the worst O-line we've ever seen. 10 being you're feeling pretty damn good about this O-line. Sound off in the comments section. I also want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Rumble, a video platform app just like YouTube where content creators put out content. Giants Now by Chat Sports is now putting our content over on Rumble, and we're trying to get to 4,000 followers. So show us some love. Give us a follow, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. My favorite part about Rumble is you can listen to these videos audio style only. You can close out your phone, put your phone in your pocket, go for a run, go grocery shopping, and you can still listen to Giants Now by Chat Sports podcast style only. Give us a follow, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. The Giants also made a move for Nick McCloud, a former Buffalo Bill. He spent some time with the Bills. Unfortunately, did not make this roster. He came out of Notre Dame, and with 1 year of NFL experience, McCloud appeared in all 3 preseason games, playing 108 total snaps, collecting 5 tackles, and giving up 27 yards on 5 receptions, including a TD. Played 2 games in 2021 and was a UDFA back in 2021. The Giants, they also signed another defensive back from the New York Jets this time, but Jason Pinnock is probably the best player on the gridiron that the Giants signed. He was cut by the Jets, played 12 games, and started 2 for the Jets in 2019. He's a converted corner to a safety. He stood out during camp this summer for the Jets, playing in 70 snaps in the preseason, collecting 2 tackles and giving up 12 yards on 1 reception. He ultimately got caught up in a numbers game for the Jets. They have a pretty deep roster, so he got trimmed, and now he's joining the New York Football Giants. I think he plays more so as a safety, but let's take a look at the cornerback depth chart, because the Giants, they added 2 corners today. You added Justin Layned and Nick McCloud. And they're going to be backups. You got Adoree Jackson, Darnay Holmes, Aaron Robinson as your starting big 3. And you got Nick McCloud, Cordell Flott, Justin Layned as your backups, carrying 6 corners, with Rodarius Williams going to start the season on injured reserve. Let's take a look now at the safety depth chart, because yesterday when we did our 53-man roster breakdown, the Giants only kept 2 healthy safeties, Xavier McKinney and Julian Love. Dane Belton still battling back from that collarbone injury. He's been at practice, changed his number from 36 to 24, was wearing the red non-contact jersey. Hopefully he can be ready to go by week 1. But Pinnock, Jason Pinnock, is going to be a safety on the New York Football Giants roster this year. So 3 players heading to IR. 3 players heading to IR, and 4 players are being claimed off the waiver wire for the Giants. 7 roster moves. That's why you subscribe. Shout out to you if you made it this far in the video. If you did, that means you're a real one, which means I want you to drop a real one in the comment section right now so I can know if you're a real one.